So guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, of course, the breaking news of today around Celtic Football Club is that Wilfred has been sacked. It's been a long time coming. I was actually very surprised that he made it a few days past the Rangers game. I felt like that second half performance was enough to seal his fate at this club, and I thought the board would have sacked him there and then a few minutes after the game. He managed to keep his job for a few more days, but it's no real surprise that he is no longer the manager of this football club. Results have been poor. Performances on the pitch as well, not just the results. The actual way we're playing as a team has been absolutely abysmal. And I think that second half against Rangers really sums up how bad it's been under Nancy. Now, there's a lot of noise around the club right now. Of course, we're looking straight ahead. We want to get the season back on track. And a lot of noise has been about who will come in quickly to replace Nancy. Of course, I believe the main one that's been mentioned, of course, is Martin O'Neill. Will he come back and stabilise the ship again? That's who I want personally. I feel like he did a great job when he was here after Brendan Rodgers left. And I think he could do a great job again at stabilising the ship. And in my opinion, I think it was a mistake not to let him stay until the end of the season. And of course, us signing Nancy, it was a very poor decision after all, wasn't it? But yeah, Martin O'Neill would be my first choice. The question is, will he take the job? Yes or no? We're not too sure. Maybe to the end of the season will be great. Hopefully get our season back on track. Because despite really poor performances, of course, Rangers have been poor this season as well. Hearts have bottled a few games here and there, so the title is still, well, of course, still open. We can still win the league, but we just need to get some consistent performances under our belt and get some momentum between now till the end of the season. But really, it's been an absolute shit show from the start this year, and yeah, not too happy about it. But before we get into the other stories, I've got some news with regards to a transfer as well. Let's discuss also Ange Postecoglou, because people are saying he could make a shock return back to the football club. I just saw this story recently. I'm going to screen share it here so you guys can read along with me. But essentially, a journalist is refusing to rule out Ange Postecoglou's Celtic return. So Celtic's search for a new manager has taken another sharp turn following the departure of Wilfred, with Ange Postecoglou, one of the familiar names, quickly returning to the centre of the conversation. The sudden nature of the change has left supporters looking for reassurance as much as direction. Attention has turned to experience and familiarity with figures who understand the club and its demand being spoken about once again. The idea of stability, even on a short-term basis, has started to outweigh the appetite for another gamble, which is something I agree with. I think, bringing a familiar face back to the club, which of course Martin O'Neill is as well, but Ange Postecoglou maybe on a longer term could be the best choice in this situation. Of course, when Ange initially left to go to Spurs, we got Brendan Rodgers back, and that worked, of course, at the time. So I think kind of rotating them back again and getting Ange Postecoglou in could be a good decision, looking a bit more long-term rather than a few games. Media discussion has reflected that shift, with respective voices questioning whether now is the moment to steady things rather than experiment. There is a sense that Celtic cannot afford another period of uncertainty while the season continues to move quickly. I agree with that 100%. But basically, TalkSport journalist Alex Crook said, "I wonder if our own Martin O'Neill has already had the call, maybe to go back and steady the ship until the end of the season. But I wouldn't rule out Ange Postecoglou, and that would certainly be an appointment that would go down very positively with the fans. I don't want to slate the MLS, but who would have thought that a club like Celtic hiring the club as crew manager would end so quickly in disaster?" He's clearly sarcastically said, "Nobody saw that coming, did they?" Which, I mean, yeah, Celtic being a very prestigious club, it almost felt a little bit strange that we were getting this manager from the MLS. But in the same breath, of course, we had Ange Postecoglou. We got him from Australia. So, it really does depend on how you look at it. But yeah, it was an absolute piss poor appointment overall, wasn't it? And yeah, I'm not completely against Ange Postecoglou coming back to the club. I mean, he's had a terrible time of it since he left Spurs, of course. It was a Nottingham Forest manager for like 8 games or something like this. So hopefully, if he was to come back, I think he'd be a good choice going forward. But I think he would want to join the club on more of a permanent basis rather than, of course, being like a quick fix right now. I think the best choice would be Martin O'Neill and maybe Sean Maloney if he's there as well. If Martin O'Neill doesn't come back, maybe Sean Maloney for a few games. It really does depend. But yeah, that is the breaking news of today, of course. Wilfred Nancy has been sacked. So, good riddance in my opinion. He was absolutely abysmal. Yeah, not great whatsoever. Really, really poor manager for the club. But let's get into some more positive news, because of course it is the January transfer window, and despite it being a very terrible time of the season, we have got some positive news, I suppose, as well. So Celtic are reported to be closing in on a new signing, with French outlet Foot Mercato claiming a deal was close for Jocelyn Tabi. It is important to stress that this is a report rather than confirmation, with no official announcement from the club at this stage. Of course, I mean, the club have been pretty busy announcing that our manager has just left. Of course, mentioning Wilfred Nancy, Paul Tisdale was dismissed as well, leaving questions over who's currently driving recruitment decisions. Tabi is currently on loan at Hapoel Petah Tikva, where he has been playing regularly for the past 18 months. The Ivory and Wire player has built his reputation in Israel through consistent minutes rather than hype. So Foot Mercato report that Celtic have agreed a fee of around €3 million. They add that the player is expected to sign a 4.5-year contract if the move is finalised. The report also claimed that Celtic medical staff travelled to Israel to carry out checks on the player. If accurate, that detail would suggest the deal is at an advanced stage, though it has not been confirmed elsewhere. So yeah, maybe another winger coming to the club. I'm happy with these type of signings. I like seeing young players come. I mean, will he be a starter straight away? Probably not, but we do need some attacking reinforcements. We were told that Wilfred Nancy was an attacking manager, but we had a -8 goal difference since he's been in charge. So that speaks for itself. So maybe some new creativity up the pitch will be good for the club. And I welcome this signing. I don't know a lot about him, of course. I don't really watch a lot of Israeli football for obvious reasons, but it could be a very interesting signing, of course. So we'll see what happens with regards to that. He says it. Celtic do complete the deal. Tabi would arrive as a project player rather than a finished article. His age and background point toward development rather than instant reliance, which is something we kind of expect with those type of signings. Again, no transfer is ever 100% a guarantee, but these ones are a little more risky when you're signing a young player from a league that isn't that prestigious. It can be a bit of a risky signing. So I guess if we do sign it, if it is confirmed, then it will be up to time to see how well this player does get on at the club. Of course, we've had some recent success signing players like this, of course, but we also had a lot of failures as well. So it is really a gamble when it comes to signing players like this. He's 20 years old. He's very, very young. Definitely a project player rather than the finished article. But guys, let me know your thoughts on everything that we discussed in today's video. Of course, the main story being Paul Tisdale and Wilfred Nancy leaving the club. I think overall it is a positive news, but we are in a bit of a limbo situation now. What's going to happen, we don't know right now, but we will keep up to date on this channel because a lot of things move quickly. And who knows, in the next few hours, maybe by tomorrow, we'll know who will be the next man in charge for the next few games until we find a permanent replacement. Or maybe we'll just get a manager straight away on a long-term contract. Who knows? But guys, make sure you do like this video. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel as well for more content just like this. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.